What's up, what's up? Y'all here live and direct. We on a venture. This is Keys and ConneXions, connecting, no pun intended, but all the love intended. We're on our way on our first international Brave trip. Bridging realities, advancing visions every day. Brave, bridging realities, advancing visions every day. That's what we're doing. It's our first international trip to Africa, the motherland. We're going home, y'all. We're going home, finally. A long time coming. Come on with us, y'all. We're going home.
For years, this was a dream, a vision in the hearts of students, staff, and community leaders. A journey not just across the world, but back to the roots of who we are. We left Baltimore with open minds and hopeful hearts. For many of us, this was the first stamp in our passports, and the first time seeing the world beyond what we've always known. Our first step was Accra, the heartbeat of Ghana's capital. At the W.E.B. Du Bois Center, we walked through the legacy of Black intellect and global connection. At the University of Ghana, we stood in spaces built on education and empowerment to learn a little bit about how to move as a global citizen in Ghana.
Learn. Thank you. So after that, we're going to welcome you. We're going to go around and shake your hand. We're going to do the traditional handshake. Shaking hands is very important. We shake this hand, we pull it off, and we snap. Just like that.
And at the museum, we listened, not just to the words, but to the memories. Storytellers led us through sculptures that held history in the faces and the stories of capture, resistance, and spirit. Here, we learned that telling our truth is not just historical, it's sacred. Along the journey, we found a small village in Kumasi. What we expected to be a quick cultural stop became something far more emotional. The children welcomed us with open arms. Their joy stirred something deep in us. The next day, the group made a decision. We had to go back. This time, not just to visit, but to give.
We want to say thank you for your hard work. When you scrape the bark off the tree to make the ink for the Adinkra symbols, we appreciate you and want you to continue to do this, to teach us.
So we want to say thank you, like Mama Deidre said, but we also want you to know that we are from America. We are your brothers and sisters. We come 6,000 miles to greet you, to get to know you, and to let you know that we love you. You are us, and we are you.
But we come to set a tradition. We come to set our next generation to know we are one. That's why we bring youth. We bring you a mirror image so that they will continue to come for years to come. Not only will we come here, but you must come here, because we are one. We love you. Midasi.
Oh, look at him.
So present it to him. Yes.
In Kumasi, our hearts were full. The joy of giving and showing others love with intention left an imprint on all of us. Then came the weight of memory. Cape Coast, the place where many of our ancestors took their last steps on African soil. Before we were stolen, they walked for months, ending at a river where they were forced to take a final bath. We went there too, but for us, it was not a last bath. It was a first bath of return, a moment of cleansing, of reflection, and of reconnection. And then the dungeons. As a part of our journey, our scholars were asked to journal their experiences, the beauty, the tension, the transformation. One entry stood out. Senior Briar Savage reflected on her time at the Cape Coast Castle, where her words gave voice to what many of us could not say out loud.
The Cape Coast Castle shouldn't be connected to be called a castle. When you think of a castle, you think of princesses and fairies. They shouldn't sugarcoat nor try to manipulate these people into thinking that the most haunted things didn't happen there and that people didn't die, bleed, or cry. Cape Coast Castle served as one of the largest slaveholding sites in West Africa, and slave Africans were captured from across the region and brought to the castle. When they were held in dark, overcrowded deaths, sometimes a weeks or months, before being forced through the door of no return and loaded onto ships for the Americans. For me, this was a profoundly moving experience. I felt a sense of goosebumps. Something just didn't sit right with me being there. I was angry for them. Can you imagine being punished for saying no to the white men because you didn't want to be raped and humane, right? If I was to explain this to someone who asked for a video, I would say male and female dungeons were dark, airless stone chambers where hundreds were packed with minimal food or sanitation, and it would take weeks to clean up their feces. The door of no return, a symbolic and emotional exit where enslaved people were forced into ships to be traded. When our tour guide asked us to put our hands on the wall, something that came straight to me was, walls remember what time won't erase.
With full hearts and fuller minds, we carried every moment, every smile, every tear into the final days of our journey. What began as a school trip had become something far more personal, a reckoning, a restoration, a return. As we returned back home, Senior Asitua Anisha found the words to speak for all of us.
I learned that the world is so much bigger than the bubble we live in, and yet somehow people across oceans can make you feel completely at home. That trip changed the way I see the world, and it changed the way I see myself. It made me curious, humble, and brave. It reminded me that we carry our education not just in our degrees, but in how we apply it to the world around us. So as we graduate today and step into the unknown, I want to carry that spirit of Ghana as well as Africa with me. And I hope you can carry your own version of it too for the people that embarked on that wonderful journey along with me. Whether your lessons came from a travel, job, a teacher, or a personal struggle, let them shape how you show up in the world. Let them remind you that success isn't just measured by achievements, but by the depth of your understanding and the kindness in your actions. To my classmates, thank you for being part of this journey. To my teachers, thank you for pushing us to think bigger. To my family, thank you for your endless support. And to Ghana, Madasi.
We came to Ghana seeking knowledge, connection, and culture, but what we found was far greater, a deeper understanding of who we are and a vision for where we're going. This was the first trip, the first time students from Baltimore City walked these roads, touched this soil, and carried these stories home, but it won't be the last. And now we walk forward with full hearts and lifted heads, knowing the legacy begins with one step.